Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines. Let's learn to play. You will remember if you have watched my previous episode that I had a huge problem with land value. Half of my residential zone in the new part of the city and about 10% in my old city ended up leaving my city because their homes were at level 4, and once I had placed the large services, the fire station, the hospital, and the police headquarters, that had a profound effect on the land value in these areas right over here, and I had a whole bucket load of people move out. They have now moved back in, and there's a few households at 2 or 3 levels of the building, but none are at 4, which I had before. You see, a lot of these areas, you can hear the sound, a small jingle. It means that the building is upgrading, and just look at this. It's constantly happening. There's nothing that I'm doing except that I have raised the land value by using policies. It's like every time I load the game, something is very different because of the high-tech housing and the parks and recreation. I have increased the land value here a lot more than it was before those policies. And the land value seems to be affected by the parks and the civil services. Like I said, when I had placed these 3 advanced services, I had a huge increase in land value, but the areas around the edges where the land value is low had people leave my city. Over here I had the same issue. A lot of my homes that were in these areas ended up being emptied out because people didn't like the land value. They were at a 3rd or 4th level, and once I had those new large services, for some reason they said, well, no, we won't live here anymore. We are leaving because of the land value. I was totally stumped as to what was happening. I only figured it out later when I watched my own video, and that is why I placed a little banner here in my previous video saying what exactly happened, because I wasn't able to figure it out while I was playing. But besides the land value problem, I have another one. Half of my industry is screaming, well, the one half is screaming for more workers, and the other half is screaming for places to export their goods. The problem with exporting is that it can be handled by the cargo train terminal, but at some point they want to sell some of those goods inside your city. And as you probably know by now, there is a problem where the parks are killing the commercial demand, and your commercial demand is low because of the parks. So what I will have to do, you do see that I have a lot of parks over here and a lot over here. I will have to remove some of these parks for the sake of the commercial demand. So where is my attraction? There we go. I'll just take a look at where exactly can I remove parks. I had placed parks here for the industry, but it did not seem to help them much. They aren't leveling. And some people have also said that you don't really need parks for the industry to level, you just need good access to the services and the cargo train terminal for them to export. So the first thing I'm going to do is bulldoze the parks that are close to the industry, get rid of those. And then I will have to get rid of some of the parks in here as well. Let's see, these are on the edges. This one, this one is close to the offices. This one is in the middle. This one over here. Well, that should reduce the number of parks quite heavily. Here I can take off this one as well. Maybe should not have taken off that one. There's going to be a hole in the land value here. Well, the better thing to do would be to not have the parks so much on the edges, but to have them on the inside of these areas. So I'm going to relocate some of these parks like this. Oh, come on, snap to the damn street already. Ah, there we go. And the next one, whoops, wrong overview. See, I moved this one over here. Move this one over here. This one over here. This one is too big to fit over here. Well, I guess I would just have to lose some of these homes if I want to place it somewhere inside or build a smaller park. Maybe that would be the better choice. Bulldoze the big one and build a smaller one. Okay, and now let's just find a spot for a smaller park. This one, for example. Let's say around here. This one is supposed to be... Oh, it's not small. Okay, let's try with this one. And I could move this one towards over here. Would this work out? I believe it could work out. Maybe just move this one towards here. This area does not have a park and this one has two. Let's move this one over here. Okay, so I'm covering this area with a way smaller number of parks. Where do I have buildings that are abandoned? Here. And I will also dezone these areas because I obviously have a problem at the moment. Therefore, it's best to just not have the industry come back before I figure out how to fix the problem entirely. And the same will probably go for this area, but I'm trying not to dezone because I want to see if a circular city design like this can work out. So I will leave the areas where there's industry zones and not dezone them to have them come back and have more residents living in this area over here while not getting any more residents in this area. Now the land value is definitely going to be hard hit after removing all those parks over here, and I do need to remove some of the parks around here as well. Well, I don't really need to remove them. I will need some of the parks for the other areas as well, so I'll just stretch these guys around a little bit. Let's see, this thing I will move. That wasn't the best idea. Let's move this one from over here to all the way here, this one from over here to over here. This one can go over here. Alright, I have definitely reduced the number of parks now, and this should have a high impact on the current situation with the land value. Now let's just see what have I done with this and what's about to happen. I maybe should have quick saved, but I do have a save that is at the beginning of my Park Destruction Act, so let's just unpause now and see what's gonna happen. Out of power? Really? Interesting. How exactly is this area out of power? The parks must have been transferring some power through the area, and now that they're gone, something different is going on. Let's see what will happen if I connect. Huh, interesting. Quite. No problems here. Quite interesting indeed. Why do I have so many power lines here? This is totally unnecessary. What? How are you not powered? Okay, that fixed itself up. They should have water now that these things are powered on once again. I haven't noticed my commercial demand go up too much, even though I have destroyed a lot of parks. Let's see, what do we have to bulldoze here? More of industry. Well, let me get some more commercial back into these areas. Low density commercial, that is. And then into these areas, high density commercial. And see if that helps the industry to find places to sell their goods. Now I am paying a hefty sum for the utilities and the services. Actually, my utilities are peanuts compared to the services. This is mostly because these things cost a hell of a lot. If you see here, a hospital is 2,400 per week. Fire station is 1,400. A police station, which I'm not sure where did I put it. Here we go. Police headquarters, I mean, 1,600 per week. Pretty expensive. They do have a massive range, that's true. This firehouse does not have electricity. Need to connect this. The rest are the parks that do not have electricity, but I don't really care because they do not have any Sims living there. They don't really need the power. I seem to not have enough workers now. I am at 4% unemployment and yet not enough workers, and this also shows not enough buyers of products. I've also seen people say that you might want to have more than one cargo train terminal, so I should probably test that idea out as well. Let me just see where I could even put a second cargo train terminal. Maybe over here. Cargo train terminal, here we go. Alright, I guess this could work out if put here. Just need to connect the railway system. This is gonna be tricky. Oh, I guess this might work like this. Just need to bring some power to this thing. It's covered by water. Yep. Alright, and let's take a look at the land value. It hasn't been changed too much by the removal of those parks and by shuffling them around, but I think it has helped me get higher demand for commercial, although I still haven't seen the ones that I've zoned go up. This one at least hasn't gone up, this one has. So I will put a little bit more low density commercial in here. Let's see where else over here. Hopefully this will work out like this. Now that I've stopped messing with this, again, some abandoned. Now that I've stopped messing with this, I should see about placing more zones here, because I do seem to have a demand for residential. That was weird. I could advance this part with the high density ones. Same over here. And some more high density commercial in these areas. Whoa, that's almost a skyscraper. That's level 3 commercial, high density commercial. And with a helipad to boot. Awesome. So the commercial is very easy to level up, it seems. Where else do I put some more? Over here. I do have the demand for industrial, but I'm not going to put any more before I'm sure that all the industry that I already have can find a place to sell their goods. As you can see, they still want more workers and still want more places to sell their products. Hopefully this thing here will make sure that some of that is achieved, and the new residential zones that I have zoned should make sure that everybody has enough workers. Well, I think this pretty much covers this video, except maybe I should reduce these things a little bit, because I do have so many hospitals, police stations and fire stations right now, police HQs. And this does cost a lot of money, so I want to reduce my expenses a little bit. Although, why am I even reducing my expenses? Look at my income! 100,000 compared to 70. Whoa, that is huge. 61,000 from low density residential, 14,000 from high density residential, peanuts from the commercial. Even citizen tourists, 4,000 income, interesting, and industry just 17,000. Very interesting indeed. I'm not sure what will happen if I were to reduce the trains. It would reduce their number, but like I said, I'm 30,000 in the green right now. So, like I said, I'm leaving you here. This is all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and see you again soon.